KBLA Talk 1580, we do Black history every single day. In fact, as the only Black talk radio station west of the Mississippi, we are Black history. Our annual Black History Month luncheon is fast approaching, and we want to be sure to give you ample time to get your company, organization, church, or group to join us at this year's celebration on the last day of the month, Thursday, February 29th at noon. Last year, we honored iconic local Black media personalities, including Pat Harvey, Jim Hill, Mark Brown, Beverly White, Sandy Banks, and Pat Prescott, and raised $20,000 in scholarships. This year, we're honoring Black Hollywood creatives who have used their artistic genius as climate justice champions. At this year's luncheon, we will be showcasing and sharing their inspiring work on our big screen. Plus, a scrumptious meal, live music, great company, and lots of fun with your favorite KBLA Talk 1580 hosts. So contact us today at info@smileyaudio.media.com or call 323-290-4690. That's info@smileyaudio.media.com or call 323-290-4690. We hope to see you Thursday, February 29th as we close out Black History Month. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your Black.
Hey, so I'm calling your show, 'cause I need to know. Show me which way to go before I throw my man out the door.
Okay, hold on a second, Keisha. Just let me ask Ronald exactly what's going on, because it takes two to tango, and I need to hear his side of the story.
So she's driving me insane, got stress heavy on my brain. She keeps playing silly games, man, I'm about to bring the pain. We seem to fuss and fight every day and every night. Please give some advice so we can see the light, see the light.
Something that I cannot believe I haven't talked on this YouTube channel. I was doing some research for some other work I was doing today, and I was studying, and I was like, what? I didn't do a video on this. So we're going to talk about something that you already know, but it's a really great framework called DARVO. So let's talk about this. Some of you may have heard of DARVO. It's really a tool for understanding gaslighting. And it's a tool that you'll need when you try to hold a narcissistic person accountable for their behavior. And like I said, I can't believe I haven't done a video on this. It's so often top of mind, but more in sort of like the research type stuff I do. But like I said, I was doing some research for something else and was looking at DARVO. So I thought, well, this is going to be really useful to talk about on YouTube. So here we are. So DARVO is an acronym that captures the reaction of perpetrators. Frankly, I believe it captures the reaction of any narcissistic person when you attempt to hold them accountable for their behavior. Now, this acronym, DARVO, it stands for denial, attack, reversing victim and offender. Okay? Denial, attack, reversing victim and offender. DARVO. Got it? It's a good thing to know. Now, this acronym was developed through the work of someone named Dr. Jennifer Freed, who is a psychologist and scholar who does really, I find it incredibly compelling research on perpetration and betrayal. We'll put her website in the video notes for those of you who might want to do a deeper dive into her science and scholarship, because it's really quite great. But I want you to sit with that whole DARVO acronym for a minute, because that's it, right? You try to hold a narcissistic person accountable, and this is what happens every single time. It's a really clear laying out of the gaslighting dynamic. So really what DARVO does is it really captures gaslighting in a really solid way. So let's lay this out as an example, right? You go up to a narcissistic person in your life and you let them know that they've done something wrong, and you directly address that with them. So the first step, you know this, they're going to deny it. I never did that. I never said that. That never happened. This is every antagonistic person ever, right? They always deny. It's always a convenient first play for them. It buys some time. They may think you don't have evidence. Hell, they'll even deny if you have evidence. And if you do have evidence, or they really did do it, picture, video, something else, but they know they did it, they won't comment on the evidence. They're going to go right to attack. Now, the attack can involve the dismantling of the other person. Well, of course, I guess this is what I get from a paranoid person like you. Like, when are you going into therapy? Or maybe you need a new shrink since you are as crazy as ever. And then the attack could also happen in other ways. It may not just be a dismantling of you, but they may do things like threaten to sue you or give you these sorts of threats, like, you better watch out. I know people. You better watch your back, or I could ruin your reputation, or you think you've got this on me? Wait till you see what I've got on you. The attack phase is exhausting, can even be frightening. And frankly, unless you're a fighter yourself, even if you initially put up the fight, they never get exhausted. So over time, the fight may go out of view. And most of us are conflict averse. So after one or two of these attack episodes, most people will not only relent, they'll often just not bring things up. But the attack part of this is really unsettling and really scary. This is, for example, where you may have concerns that things you may have shared with them in confidence, they could tell those to other people, and it could hurt other people if they shared it. If it's work or business, you may be concerned that even if their lawsuit is unfounded, that the cost of having to hire someone to defend against it and spend the time on it and the disruption of it can be, again, time-consuming but also unsettling. You may also get somewhat concerned for your safety.
Man, Dr. Ramani never disappoints. DARVO. That's a very interesting concept. DARVO. Listen, let me shout out the listeners again. This is a national discussion. Everyone is invited to participate. Your perspective is the engine that drives this show. Your perspective, your participation. We want you to join this national discussion. The number to dial, 1-800-920-1580, right? 1-800-920-1580. And I want to shout out the listeners because a lot of the topics over the past few weeks have come from you, because you want to have these types of engaging, nuanced, enriching conversations. You want to have this enriching discussion. And I'm really excited to present them. Tonight's topic: does accountability equal narcissistic kryptonite? A death blow to Maya. the Sanskrit term for illusion in your relationship. Does the narcissist operate under the guise of illusion? Well, if you put it in context of gaslighting, then yes. Very interesting topic. Sister out of Houston, Texas, delivered this topic to me. I appreciate you guys for constantly reaching out and sharing the topic. I have questions. To what lengths do you go to avoid accountability in your relationship with yourself and others? In other words, because I know the difference, right? You got people who are clinically diagnosed with NPD, narcissistic personality disorder. Then you have people like me or yourself who may have some narcissistic tendencies. And most people have some narcissistic tendencies, but that doesn't make them narcissists, right? Under the clinical definition or evaluation of that. So that's why I have to ask these questions. And a lot of people reach out to me and say, man, how do I make my partner accountable? How do I get them to be accountable? That is a tough ask. That's a tough get. The number to dial, 1-800-920-1580. Get to your phone lines right now. This is a national discussion that you simply must be a part of. 1-800-920-1580. To what lengths do you go to avoid accountability in your relationship with yourself and others? What role have you played in creating your relationship matrix? Oh, I love that question. You know, the matrix is an illusion. It is a simulation of life. It is not really life and or living. It is a simulation of that. So to what lengths, right, have you gone to create this relationship matrix that you and your significant other live in? 1-800-920-1580. What are some motivating factors that contribute to someone choosing the relational blue pill and remaining ignorant? Ignorance is bliss. Ooh, Lord, I need to know. What are the 3 things that prevent you from accepting responsibility in your relationship? What are the 3 things that inspire you to take accountability? Can you be in, listen, I love that question. My goodness. Woo, what are 3 things that prevent you from accepting responsibility in your relationship? And what are 3 things that inspire you to take responsibility or accountability? What are the 3 things that inspire you to take responsibility and or accountability? That's a heavy question. I love it. How has your reluctance to take accountability hindered you from reaching self-actualization? Abraham Maslow. 1-800-920-1580. Can you identify instances where you've dodged accountability by shifting blame onto others or external circumstances? There's the blame shifting. How do you reconcile your actions with the impact they have on your relationship and on yourself? Woo! Have you noticed patterns in your behavior that sabotage genuine accountability? If so, what are they? Can you recall a time when you resisted acknowledging your role in a conflict or misunderstanding? What were the underlying emotions driving that resistance? Reflecting on past experiences, how has avoiding accountability affected the trust and intimacy in your relationship? Let me just say this. Let me start here. Takes 2 to tango. Yes, it does. It takes 2 to tango. And if it takes 2 to tango, then 2 people must apologize. Then 2 people must acknowledge their contribution, right, to the rift that the relationship is currently experiencing. Many people do not like to be accountable. Many people love to blame shift. I'm going to shift the responsibility of the problem on to you. How many times have you agreed to something that your partner has laid at your feet that you really weren't in alignment with, that you really didn't want to do, but you did it anyway, and then because you didn't get the outcome that you're in the relationship for, you turn around and blame your partner? Well, you have to take some accountability too, because had you not agreed to something that you previously agreed to, that you really didn't want to agree to, you wouldn't be in the situation, right? You could have opted out of the experience before experiencing it. But since you opted in and you didn't like the way the experience turned out, you turn around and blame your partner. That's a lack of accountability, right? You're a co-creator of the mess you say you don't want to be a part of. But really, do you really not want to be a part of it? You help create it. In what ways do you rationalize or justify your avoidance of accountability? Woo! In what ways do you rationalize and justify your avoidance of accountability? When I come forward, the voice of reason, we're going to unpack this whole situation. Let's get Monday off right.
Reasons. The reasons that we're here, the reasons that we fear, our feelings won't disappear. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Climate is king.
At KBLA Talk 1580, we believe that caring for the community means caring about the climate. You might have heard that we announced a pretty bold 12-month, $2 million campaign to do 4 things. Increase climate literacy, turn up the volume on communities of color in the climate conversation, connect everyday people with the resources they need to survive and thrive, and highlight frontline climate justice crusaders of color throughout this year. KBLA Talk 1580 will be bringing you insightful interviews on all of our shows to help raise your climate IQ. Each quarter this year, we will also be hosting free climate events in various communities throughout the city with food, fun, and forward-thinking conversations. Thanks to partners like LADWP, Metro, Caltrans, the Sierra Club, the California Community Foundation, the California Endowment, AQMD, MWD, and more. You'll also be hearing more about a couple of national town halls broadcasting live from Los Angeles, to which you will be invited. And we'll be rolling out a robust social media campaign on all our platforms, as well as an outdoor media campaign, all designed to educate, enlighten, and empower you in our fight for climate justice.
We want cleaner air.
Caring about the community means caring about the climate. At KBLA Talk 1580, we believe that we really can change the world if we care enough. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. Legal Aid Foundation of Los Angeles is a nonprofit law firm that protects and advances the rights of the most underserved, leveling the playing field and ensuring that everyone can have access to the justice system. Every year, LAFLA provides free, high-quality legal services to more than 100,000 people living in poverty across greater Los Angeles. Their unique combination of neighborhood offices, self-help centers at courthouses, and domestic violence clinics puts Legal Aid Foundation of Los Angeles on the front lines in vulnerable communities and at the forefront of change. LAFLA's expert team of attorneys, paralegals, and support staff works to provide direct representation, offer counsel and advice, provide referrals, and educate the community about their legal rights through workshops and seminars. With locations all over LA, you can access their services or volunteer to help no matter where you live. And if you have an urgent issue, call 213-235-0060. That's 213-235-0060. To get legal help, make a donation, or volunteer, visit LAFLA.org. LAFLA.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
You know you want some more. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Today I wanted to talk to you about narcissists and accountability. This is something that many people have questions about, so I thought we could address it on the show today. What is accountability? Accountability is responsibility. When we take accountability for our actions, choices, and decisions, we're taking responsibility for them. We're saying, I did this, I made this choice or these choices, I own these things, and I will accept the consequences as well, whatever they are. Accountability is not blame because blame is generally assigned by other people and accountability is voluntarily taken. As you may have guessed, for narcissistic people, taking accountability feels like blame. They can't own their choices or their actions because they don't act, they react. Therefore, their behavior is always someone else's fault. If you ask a narcissist to take the garbage out and they punch you in the face, there will be no true accountability for this action and the choice to engage in the action. Some of them will even straight say, it's not my fault, I'm just reacting to you. The fact that their reaction is a choice, their choice, and one that is completely and totally their responsibility is not addressed. It's probably not even understood. If it is understood, it's not important. What's important is that they are not to blame ever for anything. Narcissists don't want to take responsibility for the consequences of their actions either. Not only are these things...
Now, let's distill it down a little bit. People with narcissistic tendencies also have a very difficult time apologizing. So if you can't take accountability, you can't apologize. So this goes back to the point that I made a week or two ago when I said many people struggle. Now, I'm not saying that they suffer from MPD, but they may suffer from narcissistic tendencies, right? When they can't apologize. See, listen, it's easy to say, I'm sorry, even for a narcissist. But saying I'm sorry really isn't enough. You have to say what you're sorry for. I am apologizing for this. I recognize that I hurt you in this way. And it was not my intention to purposely hurt you or disrespect you or demean you. I cheated. I lied. I betrayed you. I betrayed your trust. And I'm very sorry for doing it, right? Not, well, I didn't really know that that's what I was doing. And the reality of it is I was reacting to something that you had said, because that's not an apology. And I've gotten apologies from people that, you know what, I apologize for anything I've ever done. So you're going to give a blanket apology. You're not going to give specificity to exactly what you did. That's not an apology. And many people don't know how to apologize because they may have narcissistic tendencies, a great many of them. That doesn't necessarily mean that they are a narcissist. It just means they suffer from narcissistic tendencies. The radical concept of accountability as narcissistic kryptonite unveils the intricate dance between personal responsibility and toxic narcissistic tendencies within intimate relationships. On tonight's episode, we attempt to delve into the nuanced exploration of accountability as a double-edged sword, capable of both healing and exposing the illusions in our relationships. Through a multidimensional lens of clinical, philosophical, psychological, and societal insights, we will attempt to embark on a thought-provoking journey into the corrosive nature of personal accountability for individuals grappling with narcissism, or narcissistic tendency. So I want to bring this back. Where there is accountability, there is self-exposure. And many people fear exposing the self. This is why we blame shift. In my last relationship, It lasted 5 years. In my last relationship, I started the relationship off wrong. You know why? Because I was with someone already, and I didn't disclose that information. When I was asked, are you seeing somebody? I said no. You know why? There is no why. I can give you the information. I can say, well, you know what? I met this new person, and I said, that is my person. The person I'm with, not so much. Right? That's what I did. You take responsibility. And then when it all came out, my girl at the time was like, you know, I'm 10 toes down. I'm not going anywhere. I still got your back. I said, let me process. This is a person I've known for quite a while. Let me process, but you're the one. I want you. I'm devoted and dedicated to you. But then later, come back and say, nah, I'm not really with that. Maybe 2 years later, nah, I wasn't really with that. But wait a minute, you said you were with it. No, I'm not with that. And that's the reason why I need to break up. Do you understand? Accountability is accepting what you did. I apologize outright. Hey, I did this. I ruined this situation. Listen, if you can't disclose through being accountable, it's very difficult to apologize. When we come forward, I'm going to the phone lines because I want to hear your thoughts. Let's get it!
He's on fire tonight. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Amber Payton. Here's the latest on the Black Information Network. A historic apartment building in West Baltimore is reopening. Mayor Brandon Scott, who was Black, was among those on hand to help cut the ribbon on the Carlton, a newly redeveloped apartment building in Reservoir Hill. After sitting vacant for nearly 4 decades, the building was gutted and restored through a renovation project approved by the Baltimore City Commission for Historical and Architectural Preservation. The building will bring a dozen market-rate apartments to the historic neighborhood when it opens this spring. Brittany Griner's number 42 is now in the rafters at her alma mater. Griner returned to Baylor over the weekend to have her number retired, the first time she attended a Bears game since her senior season 11 years ago. Griner, who is Black, was part of Baylor's undefeated national championship team as a junior during the 2011-2012 season, averaging 22 points and 5 blocks per game during her 4 seasons. That's the latest. I'm Amber Payton on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network.
At Lowe's, save big when you buy in bulk. Save 10% when you buy 68 or more panels of select OSB sheathing. Selection varies by location, while supplies last. Discount taken at time of purchase. See sales associate for details.
At KBLA Talk 1580, we do Black history every single day. In fact, as the only Black talk radio station west of the Mississippi, we are Black history. Our annual Black History Month luncheon is fast approaching, and we want to be sure to give you ample time to get your company, organization, church, or group to join us at this year's celebration on the last day of the month, Thursday, February 29th at noon. Last year, we honored iconic local Black media personalities, including Pat Harvey, Jim Hill, Mark Brown, Beverly White, Sandy Banks, and Pat Prescott, and raised $20,000 in scholarships. This year, we're honoring Black Hollywood creatives who have used their artistic genius as climate justice champions. At this year's luncheon, we will be showcasing and sharing their inspiring work on our big screen. Plus, a scrumptious meal, live music, great company, and lots of fun with your favorite KBLA Talk 1580 hosts. So contact us today at info@smileyAudiomedia.com or call 323-290-4690. That's info@smileyAudiomedia.com or call 323-290-4690. We hope to see you Thursday, February 29th as we close out Black History Month. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black.
Don't settle for bumps, ingrowns, and itch due to dry skin. Try Venus for pubic hair and skin, the razor and regimen specifically designed for your pubic area. Featuring a razor with patent irritation defense bar and skin care regimen that is dermatologist and gynecologist tested. Venus helps protect your pubic skin from shave irritation. Discover the full regimen of products at GilletteVenus.com.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. Stay Housed LA has the resources you need to know your rights and the legal support to back them up. The COVID-19 pandemic has cost people their jobs and livelihoods. This has left an estimated 1/3 of households not being able to make rent and facing losing their homes. This is a fear no one in our community should have to face. You have rights, though, and Stay Housed LA is here to help. Stay Housed LA is a partnership between the County of Los Angeles, the City of Los Angeles, and local community and legal service providers. Together, they provide tenants with the information and support needed to exercise their rights so they can remain safely in their homes. Find out more about your rights by participating in a virtual tenant workshop. Get the legal assistance you need. Find additional resources in Los Angeles County and the City of Los Angeles. Stay connected to Stay Housed LA County for updates. This and more at stayhousedla.org. Stay connected to Stay Housed LA for updates. This and more at stayhousedla.org. That's stayhousedla.org. Or call their hotline at 213-694-0040. We've got your black with a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
If you say you care about the community, you have to also care about the climate. We're KBLA Talk 1580, and we've got your black.
It's game day at Jim's house, and the spread is impressive.
Mike's already done some damage with the hot wings, and now he's dropping back and going deep for another slice of pizza.
I sure hope he brought the Pepto.
Mike knows that Pepto-Bismol provides fast 5-symptom relief from unexpected stomach upsets. He's no rookie.
The way he's throwing back those nachos, he's the GOAT.
Be ready for game day with Pepto-Bismol.
When you have nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach, diarrhea.
Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
The possibility of lung cancer can be pretty scary, especially if you're one of approximately 8 million current or former smokers at high risk. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know that now there's a breakthrough low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early, and it only takes 60 seconds. You stop smoking. Now start screening. For an easy quiz to see if you're eligible, visit SaveByTheScan.org. It could save your life. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
You're listening to the Voice of Reason with Phil Williams. Only on KBLA Talk 1580.
Why can't narcissists take any accountability for their actions? Even when the narcissist does something openly hateful and manipulative towards you, they just can't seem to give you a sincere apology for it. And whatever it is that you caught them doing, most likely that's about 10% of what they're actually doing. A narcissist lives in the moment. And so when you tell them to take accountability for something that they did a few days ago, because that's not actively happening, they cannot put themselves back into that situation to give you an apology. An apology requires a certain amount of empathy that they lack. You have to be willing to say, I can see why I hurt you and I feel your pain and I legitimately am sorry that I was a result of that pain. This does not exist for a narcissist. And sometimes they will even say to you, well, that happened a week ago, that happened a year ago, why are you bringing it up now? At the same time, the narcissist will hold things against you that you've done in the past because they're still feeling the emotions of it in the present. And you think to yourself, why can't they just make that small leap that because they're still feeling pain from something that I've done, that I could still feel pain from something that they've done? Well, they just can't do it. They're not capable of it. Here's a simplified example. If I told you, produce the mathematical formula of the Big Bang Theory right now, you would say, but I don't even know the first step to take to do that. I don't have that information. I don't know how to do that. And if someone was like, well, you can do algebra. If you can do algebra, you can do this math. You're sitting here going, that's not even the same thing.
Yo, are you with someone who constantly shifts the blame to you? In my 2015 book, The Relationship Dismount, How to Stick the Landing When Exiting a Toxic Relationship, I coined a phrase, claim over blame. There can be no authentic apology unless you claim what is yours to claim. Just like they say you can only control what is yours to control, you must claim what is yours to claim in whatever calamity you experience in intimate relationships. It's almost impossible for you to be in a tumultuous, dysfunctional, frustrating, stagnant relationship and you have zero contribution to it. So let's define personal accountability, i.e. claim. Personal accountability encompasses the willingness to take ownership of one's actions, decisions, and their consequences. It is the recognition that we are responsible for the outcomes of our choices, both positive and negative. How do you define personal accountability? And how does that definition align with your actions? Reflecting on instances where you've taken responsibility for your actions, how has that shaped your understanding of accountability in relationship? It's claim over blame. You are a spiritual adult when you can claim the mess you brought to the relationship. What mess? Your childhood trauma, your lack of communication, your attachment style and their subsequent wounds that come with them. You are a spiritual adult when you can say, you know what, I come with this. This is my issue. This is what I've been working on. This is what I'm trying to heal from. And these are the things that have contributed to your dissatisfaction. These are the things that I have brought to the table that have hurt you. But if you can't have those real conversations, you cannot execute a true apology, and thus you cannot be accountable. Connection between accountability and self-esteem. The interaction of accountability and self-esteem is a complex interplay that can influence our sense of worth and confidence. How have you explored the connection between accountability and self-esteem in your life? In what ways does holding yourself accountable contribute to nurturing a positive self-image and fostering self-esteem? Many people don't go that far. Why? Because our partner is supposed to provide every answer and every resource that will lead to our happiness. We've been conditioned to think this way. Heavy stuff tonight. Are y'all ready? 1-800-920-1580. Who's been on the longest? Hustle. Come on, can we get Hustle's play? Come on, but before we bring Hustle in, we got to get Hustle right. That instrumental, man. Come on. Hustle from Miami, Florida. We want to get him in here. Talk to us, Hustle. Hey, what up, Hustle?
Yeah, I appreciate you, brother. I appreciate you.
Yes, sir, man. What are your thoughts on tonight's topic?
So look, man, great topic as usual. And I believe it was Attila that submitted this one, right?
Yes. No, it was Attila from Houston, Texas.
There you go.
Yes.
So that's what's up, man. So I was speaking with a young lady the other night, and she said something that was profound to me. She mentioned that she was in a place where she couldn't even trust herself. Right? Mm-hmm. And we both are coming out of narcissistic situations, and I guess we're kind of going through a healing journey together. I don't know if that's the best place to start something, but I thought it could be something beautiful if it works out that way. Mm-hmm. What are your thoughts on that?
Patience with yourself and patience with her, because the reality of it is, if you guys are still going through something and she has a separate thing that she's going through, and maybe you don't have something as heavy that you're going through, but we're all going through something, right? Maybe your situation isn't as complicated as hers. If she's invested, number one, let me just say, clearly there's something about you that she really, really likes and is attracted to, right? So number one, her disclosing and being transparent with you and sharing what she shared, that's a big sign that there's a certain level of trust, right? That she actually trusts you. So if I were you, I would lean back and allow her, because let me just say it this way. A lot of times, the person who wants to help is not invited. The help isn't invited. So sometimes you got to sit back and allow them to get comfortable enough to invite you to their issue. And many times when they invite you to an issue, it's because they believe you to be a trusting ear. Not all the time are they coming to you to say, you fix it. To me, them coming to you saying, you fix this issue is a red flag. Mm-hmm. Do you see? That's a red flag, because I can't fix your problem. I can assist you on your journey while you fix your problem. I may be able to suggest a book, but you still got to read it. That's if I suggest you a book, right? I give you a book suggestion and you don't read it, that's the same as leading a horse to water, but he doesn't drink. See, at the end of the day, the work is on you. So again, my advice to you is patience. And don't be anxious about it. Allow her to continue to offer you the VIP invite, and go in as a non-judgmental listener. and let her know, I don't really have all the answers. I may be inspired by listening to you to point you in a particular direction, but that doesn't necessarily mean you're going to get the outcome that you're looking for. The outcome is dependent upon what you do internally. Does that make sense?
Absolutely, man.
There you go. Absolutely. My brother Hustle, guess what you just did?
Miami, Florida, man. I appreciate you, Joe.
Yes, sir. If you want to bring your city in the building, all you got to do is call me at 1-800-920-1580. We lost a caller, right, from Houston. But we still got a caller from Houston. But this is what I want to do. The brother who called from Houston, was it Jason? Jason, man, you better call back, man. 1-800-920-1580.
Is it good to you? More Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams when we come forward.
City of Los Angeles tenants, get informed today about your eviction rights. Take immediate action if you receive an eviction notice from the court. You have 5 days to respond to an eviction notice or unlawful detainer. Don't self-evict. And you can't be evicted for non-payment of rent unless you owe more than the fair market rent for a unit your size. Learn more eviction information such as at-fault and no-fault evictions at housing.lacity.org. Be informed, be protected, be at home.
Hi, this is Scott Trout of Cordell & Cordell. If you're a dad who is facing divorce, there are extra layers of stress that may include stereotypes and assumptions. No two situations are the same. Our legal experience and dedication prepare us for whatever legal challenges we face together. You need a partner you can count on. For more than 30 years, Cordell & Cordell has represented men in divorce.
1455 Frazee Road, Suite 1050, San Diego, California, 92108. Online at CordellCordell.com.
Hey, you're up next. My throat hurts so bad. There's no way I can sing tonight.
Here, try these.
Vicks VapoCool Drops.
Yeah, Vicks VapoCool Drops has maximum strength menthol with a rush of Vicks Vapors.
Ooh, I can already feel it.
I told you. So, you ready?
I'm ready.
Vaporize sore throat pain fast with Vicks VapoCool Drops.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 believes in community empowerment through the arts. Tia Chucha Central Cultural is on a mission to transform community in the Northeast San Fernando Valley and beyond through ancestral knowledge, the arts, literacy, and creative engagement. The Northeast San Fernando Valley has a population of about 500,000, the size of the city of Oakland, yet it has no bookstores, art galleries, or full-fledged cultural spaces until Tia Chuchas opened its doors in 2001. Founded by renowned poet and activist Luis Rodriguez, Tia Chuchas Cultural Center provides a year-round free or low-cost arts and literacy bilingual intergenerational programming in mural painting, music, dance, writing, visual arts, healing art sessions, and healing talking circles. Activities also include Mexica, Aztec dance, indigenous cosmology, philosophy, and 2 weekly open mic nights, one in Spanish, the other in English. In addition, they host author readings, film screenings, and art exhibits. To express yourself, heal yourself, attend an event, or volunteer, please visit www.tiachucha.org. That's TIACHUCHA.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
You know you want some more. It's the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
What is going on, beautiful people? Welcome to another episode of The Narcissist Code. I'm your favorite self-aware narcissist, Mr. Lee Hammock, better known as Mental Healness, across all social media platforms. This is your first time seeing my face or hearing my voice. I'm a diagnosed narcissist, and I use my platform on social media to raise awareness for NPD, get more people into therapy, and also validate the victims, survivors, and thrivers of said disorder, said toxic people, said toxic traits. Today's episode is going to be entitled, How to Hold a Narcissist Accountable. How do you do that? How do you hold a narcissist accountable? I got this question from one of the comment section of one of my videos. I was like, yeah, let me do a video on that. Because we all know, or most of y'all know, if you dealt with a narcissist or toxic person, you know, or you should come to the conclusion very quickly that narcissistic people, toxic people, do not like to be held accountable for anything that they have done to you or anything that you think that they have done to you. That's just the way it goes, y'all. I wish I could change it for you. I wish there was another way, but narcissists do not like to be held accountable. So some people just like, because accountability to narcissists is like kryptonite to Superman. And no, I'm not saying narcissists are Superman, except for me. I'm just joking. I'm kidding. And well, their narcissism just peaked out, Lee. You were not kidding right there. You were serious. Blah, 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 boo, 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 bee, bee, bee. I was kidding. Narcissists are not Supermen. But this is the way it goes, though. Accountability works like kryptonite to narcissistic people. We don't like it. We try to avoid it at all costs, because it strips us of our powers. It makes us feel like we are not worthy, because accountability leads to us feeling shame, or the thought of feeling shame. Shame is so powerful when you're dealing with narcissists and you're dealing with toxic people. It just is, y'all. It really, really is. So I think this is how my mind works on the subject right here, y'all. One of the only ways to hold a narcissist accountable is, drum roll, to have some type of leverage on them. One of the only ways to hold a narcissist accountable is to have some type of leverage on them. What I mean by leverage is have something that they want, that they do not want to be taken away. You have to be able to move. You have to have something on them, or something that you have to have some type of power over them or control over them.
Man, Lee Hammock be cooking. Y'all should check him out on YouTube. Check out his YouTube page. The brother definitely be dropping the jewels. But let me say this. Have you ever been in a relationship with somebody who wasn't a narcissist, that always had some kind of leverage on you? Could always refer back to old text messages 2-3 years ago? I didn't even know how my cell phone did that. Like, what? You can go back and see, oh, yeah, all you gotta do is go into search and type in blah, blah, blah. What? Yeah, man. These are narcissistic tendencies. And guess what? They're more prevalent and pervasive than many of us know. And oftentimes we're dealing with people that are using these tactics. They may not be clinically diagnosed as narcissistic. However, they're using some of these, I guess, clandestine skills. Many people seek to have some kind of leverage. And if you got leverage, guess what you can do? In a lot of ways, you can shirk your responsibility. In a lot of ways, you can dodge accountability because you got leverage. Do you understand? I don't want y'all to get caught up thinking this is just about people who have NPD or clinically diagnosed as narcissistic. I'm saying there are many people who have narcissistic tendencies, and they rely on them in order to survive in a relationship. What is the role of vulnerability in embracing accountability? Vulnerability is the gateway to authentic connection and growth, yet it can be daunting when it comes to embracing accountability. How does vulnerability play a role in your willingness to hold yourself accountable for your actions, your thoughts, words, and deeds? In what ways can vulnerability enhance the transformative power of accountability in your relationships? Well, remember, vulnerability means pain. This is why it's so hard for many people, whether they're narcissistic, clinically diagnosed or not. The pain of accountability, the pain of claim. I don't want to claim my responsibility. Man, this is heavy. When we come forward, I promise you, I'm doing phone calls. Let's get it.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Amber Payton. Here's the latest on the Black Information Network. A historic apartment building in West Baltimore